guys? It's Naseem here. Now, after using the iPhone 13 for about 10 months now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind after using it on a day-to-day basis was the simple statement that I think explains the 13 pretty perfectly. And that statement is, I think that the iPhone 13 is still one of the safest phones that you can get in 2022. And I say this because when you think about it, the iPhone 13 doesn't really have any major problems with it. Everything works just fine, which means that it's overall a solid phone. The iPhone 13 has a good display that is bright and vibrant. It has a powerful processor that can handle any app that comes its way. It has an amazing software that will update for up to 6 years. And it has a durable build quality that can handle most rough situations. And this is why I say that the iPhone 13 is still one of the safest phones in 2022. Because if you are in the market looking for a new phone that will last you long and works perfectly fine, then it's one of the best options out there. But besides my reasons for why I think that the iPhone 13 is one of the safest phones, I still wanted to let you guys in on my experience with it after 10 months of use. Now, the first thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the iPhone 13 is the battery performance. Now, when it came to the battery on the iPhone 13, I will usually get around 7-8 hours of on-screen time a day, and the battery was still able to last me all day, even when I was using power-heavy apps. So if you are someone who does like the game on your phone, the battery will last. I will usually end my day with about 25 to 35% battery whenever I didn't game on it, and if I did game on it, I will usually end my day with about 10 to 20%, which is still really good if you ask me. The charging was also pretty fast whenever I use my 20-watt fast charger. I would plug up my phone for a short amount of time whenever I needed juice, and whenever I needed juice, I would get enough to finish strong throughout the night. And when compared to the 13 Pro, the charge times and battery life were pretty much the same. So overall, I would say that the battery on the iPhone 13 was really good. And if you're someone who is looking to get the 13 in 2022, then this phone will last you all day with no problems, even if you're using power heavy apps. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the iPhone 13 is the display. Now, the iPhone 13 has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display that in person still has a really great look that gives off a very premium feel. And something that I liked about the 13 was how it felt. The smoothness was something that I still noticed even after 10 months. And scrolling through the OS felt effortless for me, and I had no lags along the way. I also really liked that it had the same size display as the 13 Pro, which made the viewing experience much better. Whenever I watch a video on it, I loved how I had no trouble seeing anything, even if the screen was farther away. And I really appreciated that it wasn't too big to the point where it was a struggle to grip it with one hand. The responsiveness was also very smooth and precise. It was basically as sharp as the 13 Pro and Pro Max, which really gave it a new feeling and made me appreciate the fact that Apple put some effort into the responsiveness. Now, the brightness was okay at best, if I'm being honest. Like, it was good for an iPhone, but when you compare it to any other phone in the market, I would say that it didn't get as bright, especially when I was outside. I could see when I turned it to max brightness, but again, the competition was just much better. And now the last thing that I liked about the iPhone 13's display was the overall viewing experience that was really good. The resolution was sharp, the colors were realistic yet vibrant, and the size was big enough to make it a really great experience. And to show you guys what I mean, here's an example of me playing a game and watching the video.
James lobs it up. You get more of that kind of contribution now, James can be more efficient. Did the Nets ever think that Day'Ron Sharpe and Kessler Edwards would be starting at this stage? Number 2 in the Eastern Conference, half game behind Miami. Harden off the window. Lee picks his pocket. Break opportunity. AD is running. Bradley lob it up. Oh, LeBron!
Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the iPhone 13 is the software. Now, something that I really liked about the iPhone 13 was how it was able to run the latest version of iOS. And while I was using my 13, I was on iOS 15.5. There were no lags, everything felt buttery smooth, and it gave me a very fresh feeling despite only being out for 10 months. And the 13 was able to handle power heavy apps really well. Whenever I would play power heavy games, I rarely got any lags. Also, when I was using my Google Maps, the phone would still get hot and the software was working just fine as opposed to other phones that freeze and completely shut down on me. But besides that, it still had those premium iOS features like the ability to connect to different devices at ease, iMessage, FaceTime, and all of the premium iOS apps that many people use. And overall, it still had that iOS smoothness that even with the bugs was a joy of using. And if you are considering getting this phone, then you can use power heavy apps and the battery will last you all day. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the iPhone 13 is the speakers. Now, again, comparing the 13 to the 13 Pro, I would say that the speakers are pretty much the same. The bass again was a little weak, but that's usually a common problem within iPhones and most smartphones as a whole. But besides the bass not being that great, I would still say that the overall sound quality was really good. Music was nice, videos were loud and clear, and the speakers overall enhanced my viewing experience because they were just too good. And to give you guys an idea of how the speakers sound, I'm going to play a video so that you can see just how loud they are.
Missed them both. The Lakers get it back. Bryant, Kobe, Butter, tied at 95. Kobe isolated right by Mo Peterson on the reverse. How about that scoop on the bank? Little spin. Kobe Bryant. Wow. Right around the Great Wall.
And now the final thing that I wanted to look at when it comes to the iPhone 13 is the cameras. Now, just like on almost every iPhone, the iPhone 13 has a two 12 megapixel camera system that was pretty much the same compared to any other iPhone that was released in the last 4 years. I was still able to get good photos no matter how harsh or nice the environment was. Like right here, you can see my outside daytime photos, and I would say that they were still really good pictures that turned out really well. Everything was sharp, but not too sharp. The colors were accurate. There was very little yellowing compared to the previous models. My face looked pretty color accurate, even when the sun wasn't towards my face, and the overall vibrancy of the outside pictures were pretty great to no surprise. And now when we look at the inside daytime photos, I would say that these were also really great. Like right here, you can see that there was little to no graininess once I got to night mode, and my selfies were top notch when compared to other flagships. The quality got much better, the sharpness was still good, and the colors were very accurate, which definitely redeemed the camera overall. And when it came to video quality, the 13 had one of the best to offer. And to give you guys an example, here's some videos that I took on it. I'm doing. And there it is, my review on the iPhone 13 in 2022. Now let me know down in the comments, would you get the iPhone 13 over any other phone in the market? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.